Hi there, gorgeous, and a very happy Frugal Friday to you. And sadly, we have reached the end of Save Money September. But I am here to tell you that Drugstore December is just around the corner. And I'm also going to be doing something a little bit different this year with December. And in addition to doing a drugstore video on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays for the whole month, I'm also going to be doing a Dupe It December video on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So you will have 5 videos coming out per week for the whole month of December. So much content. I'm actually starting to work on some of that stuff now, which I'm really excited about. So please subscribe so you don't miss out on all of those videos coming your way soon. Christmas is gonna be here before you know it. Well, anyway, I could not think of a better video to end Save Money September with than to do another half-face high-end, half-face drugstore. I love putting these together, and I have so many great dupes to share with you in this video. So let's hop right on into it. Hi! As with all of my half and half videos that I've done in the past, I'm not going to be telling you which side is high-end and which side is drugstore as I'm applying the products. And I'm going to keep my commentary to myself too, because sometimes I like to give it away. But I like to keep you guessing, and I also like for you to be able to form an unbiased opinion based on what I'm using, simply by my not telling you. We're going to start with the eyes, as always, and the palette that I picked up is an exact dupe for the Huda Beauty Smoky Obsessions palette. This is from Bad Habit. It's called After Party, and they've actually duped out a lot of her palettes. Now the eyeshadows are not in the same exact order as the Huda Beauty palette, but you can see which ones are close. You notice the size difference between the two. I initially thought that the Bad Habit palette had more product in it based off of the size. And I thought that Huda Beauty was gypping us with giving us this little bitty amount of product, but she isn't actually. There is a little less in the Bad Habit palette, if you can believe it. And I'll let you know what the grams are here. Here it is, 10 grams in the Huda Beauty palette and 8.9 in the Bad Habit palette. And we're talking about ounces, it's 0.32 ounces in Bad Habit and 0.35, so a little bit more in this palette, but with the price difference, you're still saving money with the Bad Habit palette. The other difference between these two that is quite important for me as a YouTuber to be able to communicate to you how to recreate a look with these palettes is that on the Bad Habit palette, they have names for the eyeshadows on the back, whereas Huda Beauty does not. First shade I'm taking from each of these palettes is the really light tan, and I'm going to use that as my transition shade in the crease. Miss Giovanna is trying so hard to grace us with her presence this morning. I am up ahead of everyone trying to get this video filmed, and she has been stirring, but not quite awake. She likes to talk in her sleep, so you may hear baby noises in the background because I have the monitor in my studio right now. But I'm hoping she stays asleep so I can get this video filmed. Please. Next eyeshadow I'm taking from both of these palettes is a medium brown, and I'm going to be applying that onto the outer half of the lid with a flat brush. Oh, stay asleep, Gia, stay asleep. Please, please. I'm taking a little bit of the eyeshadow that's a little bit lighter than that last one that I used, and I'm going to use that to deepen the crease a little bit up top. Oh, baby patrol. All right, let me finish this eye, and I'm gonna go get ya. Okay, I just got back from checking on Gia. She is fast asleep. She likes to talk in her sleep, so you may hear her from time to time, but she is fast asleep. Next eyeshadow I'm taking is the Shimmery Light Taupe, and I'm going to be applying this onto the inner half of the lid. It's so hard to keep my comments to myself. Oh, I keep wanting to tell you oh, this is doing really well, or ooh, this is terrible. But I mean, yeah, I can't tell you anything. The second I open my mouth, you're going to know instantly which side is which. But I'm pretty sure that you're going to have trouble distinguishing between these two sides. I mean, so far, can you tell which one is the Highend and which one is the drugstore? It's really hard to tell if you didn't know. Got those lashes applied, and if you're wondering which ones these are from my brand of lashes. I have my own lash line, if you don't know. It's inkyminkylashes.com, and these are the style I do. They are a 3D synthetic pair, and they're very fluffy, very full on the eyes. It's one of our top sellers, so if you're interested, the style is I do, inkyminkylashes.com. Okay, next product I have to try out that are supposed to be dupes of one another. I've not tested them side by side yet, but I read that they were supposed to be dupes. Is the Hourglass Immaculate Liquid Powder Foundation, which, by the way, this stuff by itself is fabulous, but the price point, not so much. It is supposed to be comparable to Rimmel's Stay Matte Liquid Mousse Foundation, so I'm going to be pitting the two between one another today. This is the light ivory color, by the way, in the Rimmel shade, and then in the Hourglass shade, I'm using Pearl. I'm also using two separate sponges for these applications, even though they are the same sponge. This is the L'Oreal sponge, I believe. And what can I say? I love it, so I bought a backup, because you know how these companies are when they discontinue things. Again, I can't tell you anything. You'll just... It's so hard for me to apply product and not be able to say, ooh, ah. So weird. It's going to be so weird having two different foundations on my face today. I'm taking Jet to the aquarium this morning with a friend of mine who has a daughter about 2 months younger than Jet. So play date, and she's so excited to meet Giovanna. But oh yeah, it's always interesting. You always get self-conscious when you go out, when you're testing products like this, and you wonder if people are going to be able to tell. But isn't that the true test of a dupe? Next two products I'm trying out as part of today's side-by-side comparison are concealers. This is the NYX Dark Circle Corrector, and I'm putting it up against the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer, and this is in the shade Vanilla. Apply under this eye. Putting that in with my favorite L'Oreal concealer sponge, although they are discontinuing this one if they haven't already. Super bummed about that, by the way. And applying this one over here. Same typical method. I'm using the e.l.f. concealer brush to blend that in. I swear I just heard Jet through the walls. Oh, my husband's taking over him in the morning though, so we trade off. I take Gia, he takes Jet, so mine is still asleep. To set my face today, I am using my most favorite powders, both from the drugstore and the high-end side, and I'm comparing them between one another because I do feel like they are comparative. That is the Catrice Prime and Fine Waterproof Powder and the YSL Powder. And this has some funky name to it. I'll have it listed for you below. But I use these so frequently. And I just started thinking, I think they are comparable because I like them both and how they apply. It's going to be an interesting wear test, I will tell you that. I am very interested to see the results at the end of the day. For the cheeks, the next dupe I have to share with you is one for a Too Faced blush. This is part of their 16-hour blush line in the shade I Will Always Love You, which is a beautiful peach. But you can find a dupe for it from L'Oreal, and this is their Enchanted Scented Blush in the shade Fantastical. Somebody swiped my fan brush. I wonder who that could have been. No worries, we'll use another one. I got plenty. I found it. It was bugging me. I had to find it. And applying on this side over here too. Need a little bit more product there. Highlighter. I have two to compare here. The first one is from Tarte. This is one of their Amazonian clay highlighters in the shade Stunner. And I am comparing this one with an e.l.f. baked highlighter in the shade Moonlight Pearls. And you can already see how similar these two look side by side. Finger application with both of those. And apply them lightly on the tops of the cheeks like so. Do this side over here. Last and final product I'm showing you here is lipstick. I found a dupe for a MAC lipstick, and this is in the shade Studded Kiss, which is also a dupe for MAC Diva. So if you have Diva or you have Studded Kiss, you don't need to buy either one of those because they're exactly the same. The dupe that I found is from Maybelline's line, and this is in the shade Divine Wine. Can't show you the application because that'll give it away completely. You know, me holding up the tube, yeah, that's pretty apparent. But what I'm going to do is apply one of each to each side of my lips. So this half and this half. So you got one side applied there. I look like a Halloween costume. Much better, but you can already see no difference between the two sides. They are completely identical, both in formula, application, and color. Moment of truth, you tell me. Can you tell which side is high-end and which side is drugstore? Is it A or is it B? Leave your comment below and don't cheat. If you guessed that this side is high-end and this side is drugstore, then you are right, and I will show you shortly how everything held up throughout the day. Now we have a little girl waking up. Good timing, Gia. See, it's a girl thing. I mean, it is. How did everything hold up throughout the day? Because that is the true test when we're talking about drugstore dupes, right? We want to know how they look and how they compare to the high-end product, even through wear time. Well, you remember that I had mentioned I was taking my son to the aquarium, and after you're done with the aquarium, they have this cute little play area outside where the kids can run off some of that energy. It was 92 degrees outside that day, and I had sweat dripping down my face. My hair was soaked at the nape of my neck. By the time we were done, I thought for sure my makeup was wrecked. But everything held up beautifully, and I would absolutely say that the drugstore side was highly comparable to the high-end side. And that foundation, by the way, from Rimmel is great stuff. It really held its own against that Hourglass foundation, and it's a lot cheaper too. The only two products that I don't feel like are dupes of one another out of all the ones I shared with you today are the NARS concealer and the NYX concealer. Sadly, the NARS one is better than the NYX one, and NYX just cannot compete with NARS. It was not as smooth an application, it didn't last as long, and the coverage wasn't as great. So, sad to tell you that, but I had to be upfront and honest with you in that respect. So if you enjoyed today's video, you are going to love Dupe It December. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on any videos coming up in that month. So if you really enjoyed today's video, I can pretty much guarantee you that you are going to love Dupe It December. I'm looking forward to it myself. Please make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on any of those future videos. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for taking the time to watch, and I want to wish you a wonderful weekend ahead.